So picture this. So you've been asking, and there's a really profound and stable vibrational state of being that your inner being and law of attraction have gathered cooperative components to. And so a lot that is about what you're now reaching for is in that gestation phase, so to speak. So it's in the state of becoming. It's so interesting because if you could see the thoughts turning to things, you would realize that the thoughts are becoming more and more and more pronounced. The question is, where are you in your ability to perceive them? In other words, an idea is a manifestation. So the more you clarify or find the feeling place of what you're looking for, we're going to give you an example of this because we're going to do a lot of this as we're moving forward. So Esther and her magnificent crew were in Amsterdam not long ago. And it was a 2-day event. And on the first day, a woman was in the hot seat with a strong desire that she could not verbalize. She was nearly tongue-tied. She couldn't speak it. She desperately wanted but couldn't speak it. And we tried to help her a bit, and she continued to use words that were very general and very vague. And we couldn't coax more definition from her because we wanted her to define it and feel it and define it and feel it, but she could not. And so we said, well, explain to us why you want. In other words, what is it about what you are now living? It was a relationship thing. What is it about what you are now living that is making you really, really want this? And suddenly she was really articulate. She made everybody understand. Everybody could feel what she was feeling. And we said, isn't that interesting? Those are images and thoughts and words that you've practiced so much that comes easily. And imagine her bag of marbles. All that stuff's active. All that stuff. Opposite of what she wants, but that's what's active. And when you got stuff active that's opposite of what you want can't get to you. And so then the next day, Esther is sitting backstage, as she always is, getting ready to be ready for receiving like this. And she has a notebook and she began writing, as she often does, about what she's looking forward to. And she was using words like, oh, it'll be wonderful and it'll be fun. And as she made her list, we said to her, vague. And she laughed because she knew that was vague. And she knows what the feeling place is of this experience. So she took her book and focused and she wrote, I know what it feels like to tune myself to the frequency of Abraham and feel the clarity that is theirs flowing through me. I know what that feels like. She went on to write, I know what it feels like to have a room full of people who in some cases can't even figure out why they're here. In some places have strong desires, some really strong needs. I know what it's like for them to come with their bag of marbles and to actually witness the marbles in their bag changing as Abraham comes at it from this direction and this direction and this direction and this direction. I know that feeling of self-empowerment and of enlightenment and empowerment in everyone. I know that feeling of jubilation and elation that takes place when people start catching on to what makes this work. And we said, now you're cooking. So that's what we're talking about finding that feeling place of it. You want to generate that feeling of what you want so that it is a more dominant output than the frequency of what you're now living that isn't quite what you want. So can you give us some words? Can you find that feeling place of what you're looking for, what it would feel like, why you want it, what's the essence of it? What is it?
So from where I stand, I find that is a jump, but it is the next logical step.
So that was pretty good, but pretty bad too. Because from where I stand, we didn't ask you from where you stand in my manifested form. We're asking you, what is this that you're reaching for? And what does what you're reaching for feel like? What does it feel like? Find something. And these are the words that help Esther. Find easy existing matches. When we ask you to find the feeling of something that you haven't lived before, that's too much of a stretch. You want to find something that is an easy Sometimes, after you've asked, the law of attraction, with the help of your inner being, will call you into a situation that is even more what you don't want, to help you to clarify more what you do want. In other words, sometimes more launching of rockets is beneficial, but always things are working out for you. This is a thing that we really want you to understand. It's not just that help is on the way. Help is here with you all the time, calling you. So describe as you can. Find the feeling place of what it is you're looking for, what it is that is in the process. Say it better. It's in the gestation of your vortex, and your inner being has all senses on it, more senses than humans can even imagine. Knows exactly what you're asking for and why you're asking for it, and is feeling it fully. Try to find something in your already existing being, not a reach, not something that you're reaching for, but something that you know for sure that you can feel as we are playing together right now, that is a match, an existing match to that. Can you?
The word is excitement.
Vague.
That's how I feel about what's coming.
Yeah,
because whatever I've asked for so far has manifested.
True, but vague. I'm good at this. You said it's the next logical step. I'm good at this, but we're not hearing you present anything beyond what is. So you can keep getting what is. But if you want something beyond what is, you've got to generate some vibrational frequency that's going to bring something more than what is. Get it? So just baby steps. No big deal.
That's where I need your help.
Well, you know what it is. Why do you want what you want? That's usually a good place to start.
Because it'll feel good to have it.
Vague. Hear the difference between Esther saying, oh, it'll be great on the stage and everybody will have a good time, and saying, oh, I know what it feels like when Abraham is pouring through, and I know the feeling of clarity when things just light up in me, things that I've never thought about in my life, and suddenly they're flowing through me with words, and then people in the audience are hearing things maybe for the first time, and then they're lighting up all over the place, and then the questions are being, in other words, feel the difference? So why? What is it? Find the feeling place of what you're reaching for. All right, tell us generally. What was it? We forgot already.
The question was, how could I attract more prosperity?
More prosperity. No one else in the room cares about that. So, more prosperity. But can you feel how this sounds like nitpicking, we know. But hear this. Feel the difference. More prosperity sounds like more than I've got, which isn't enough. More than I've got, which isn't enough. Bring me more of what isn't enough. Because the universe isn't listening to your words. The universe is responding. This law of attraction is it's a thing of physics. It's a vibrational frequency thing. It's not an arbitrary. It's not someone that's saying, oh, he looks nice, let's give it to him. It's not anything like that. It's you got to attract it. And so what does more prosperity feel like? I like the feeling of options, all options. I like the feeling of choosing not based upon affordability. I like having access because of what I'm able to, the decisions that I'm able to make right now. I like that freedom of being able to get an impulse and act on it and act on it quickly. I like that spontaneity. I like to be financially spontaneous. I like the feeling of moving through space and time with others. And I like knowing that the law of attraction is matching us up. And I like knowing that sometimes I'm in a situation where someone's asking and I'm in a position, and I just like that give and take. I like that feeling of flow. I like the feeling of abundance of all things, abundance of clarity and abundance of vocabulary, abundance of words, abundance of love, abundance of vitality and prosperity. I have so much in my world that is abundant. I understand abundance. I understand abundance and prosperity. I understand attraction. I understand all of that. And now I'm pointedly wanting to look at the feeling of choices that abundance gives me. Choices. You can add to that.
Do whatever I like, whenever I like.
All right. Do what I like to do. Now, here's the thing we're asking you. Are you speaking of that from bondage or from the pleasure of getting to do what you like? Clarify that for us.
Expansion, pleasure, joy.
So give us a little more of that. What do you mean, doing whatever you like?
With the abundance of money, I get to make more choices and go with the flow of wherever I would like to go.
Can you feel that you're getting a little defensive here? And it's all right. In other words, you're justifying it just a little bit. You don't have to justify it because your inner being's got you. The law of attraction's got you. The abundance is already in your vortex. It's already lined up. The cooperative components are already ready to pop into your experience for those vibrations to turn into thoughts that turn into things. It's all right there for you. You just got to tweak it just a little bit. You've just got to feel it as not future, but now. That's the whole point. You got to turn the now into the feeling of what you're looking for. A little more. A little more. A little more. It's fun. It's fun to get to go. It's fun to feel free. It's fun to get to choose. But you see, so you're helping us explain something that we dabbled at before you sat here. And that is when you've experienced not enough, or when you've lived with not enough, when your family lived with not enough, when not enough has been your experience, it's logical that not enough would be a sort of habit of thought. And sometimes it feels almost naughty to want more than what should have been enough, because you've heard from so many people have justified not having everything that they want by saying you shouldn't want everything. You shouldn't be so selfish, because they think that there's this finite pie, that if you take a slice of it that's a little big, that you'll be depriving someone else. Most people have this shortage consciousness because they do not understand that the pie expands as the requests come in. So there's no possibility of you depriving anyone else, but you've got marbles that still feel like that. So you're asking for abundance, but not too many. People will say, Abraham, I want to win the lottery. And I'll share it, they say. Because they don't want to make anybody mad, especially not whoever it is that seems to be doling out the lottery wins, you see. And so now, did you feel another loop open a little bit? So why you? Why me? Why me? We're standing in your shoes. Why you? Why do you get to ask for more than what? Who do you think you are?
I am with this awareness from Abraham that
I am source energy.
Yeah.
I am source energy in a physical body who has come to manifest. And I have lived enough life to know that I like that feeling of freedom, and that I can't get poor enough to help poor people become prosperous. I want to teach through the clarity of my example. I want to be the attractor of abundance. I want to radiate. I want to ooze it. I want it to be so obvious when people look at me that that's who I am. I want them to get a little bit of their marbles mixed up with a little bit of my marbles, just because my marbles are so sure of my prosperity and my worthiness and my ability and my talent at attracting what I want. That's who I am, and that's what I want. Now that shifted for you.
Absolutely.
That shifted for you.